No, that's what you need the spray paint for, and you don't have to worry about any permits.
And that's awesome.
I'm telling you, it's one of the best things you can do on a Saturday afternoon that's
It
semi-legal.
Sure is.
What?
So,
Really?
yeah, it is. So, welcome back to live TV. That was why I can't play Candyland, and you're trying to talk me into live-action Candyland?
You have not experienced life yet, sir. Have not experienced life.
It will be a bloodbath, I guarantee you.
Yes, it will.
So, our topic
bloodbaths.
today is about Twilight, because the last of the stupidity movies comes out this week, and love it or hate it, it's everywhere you look. It has spawned the paranormal romance genre, which I think is entirely.
There was a genre that existed before Twilight.
But now it's all heavy because now there's all these books in the teen girls section that are all like Twilight. It's so sad. So we're going to do a good old-fashioned beat down on Twilight today. If you like Twilight or you hate Twilight, I don't care. There's a phone number. You can call us. Call us. We want to hear what you have to say about this.
I don't care.
I'm just
Also
gonna
bash it.
clear the air with this. Stephanie Meyer is the twittiest, stupidest author ever. The thing that pissed me off the most is when they had the audacity to say, but she captured the essence of love.
Because to me, the essence of love is how much abuse can you ladle on? My goodness, let me just stay at home alone all the time and dream that a man's going to come rescue me every time I put myself in danger. Oh, and by the way, all these other great female heroines in science fiction, screw you, ladies. I just want to be the most harmless, helpless little thing in the universe. Don't you want to be that way, little girls? Isn't Disney telling you that's what you're supposed to? Oh, stop me from frothing. Just say something.
So
Shut up!
And what? And
It hurt my ears.
how is the essence of love? I'm going to give up everything just so I can stay young for my first crush who obsesses and stalks me and tells me I'm a monster. Why do you, I just
sparkle
don't
and I'm a
understand.
monster. Oh.
Do you have anything
Bunny,
to
you
say?
gotta add some bit into
You're not
this.
gonna stay here and be quiet, all right?
Hated the movies. I got forced to sit through the first two.
Okay, who forced you? Was it Soul? Because Soul likes these movies, I want you to know. That's why he's not here. He's hanging his head in shame. He actually waits at Redbox till midnight so he can check it out.
He's probably sitting there just at the Redbox.
That's
thing,
kind of
just sitting there,
sick.
curl a little ball.
He took
When's it
Pyro
coming
with him one
out?
time.
When's it
That's
coming out?
gross.
And I have to admit, I've read the books, and it was the worst experience of my life because this was before the movies came out and said, "Oh, you've got to read these books. You're gonna love them." You know,
Did
people.
you actually pay money to get
No,
those books?
I got the digital PDFs of them.
Thank you.
They sent them to me. I was like, okay,
Awesome.
what am I reading? This is absolute dribble.
It's some of the worst stuff from like the 19th century romance where the whole point was how helpless the woman was and how she had to be rescued, etc. Like she got all these just stupidly old tropes, took a genre that actually like I like the paranormal romance genre, not the Twilight books, but you know the Sookie Stackhouse things again.
Dude, I love those.
True Blood is awesome.
You know
I like the show.
Not just because of the full frontal male nudity. There are other things to like about
I'm
it.
thinking
as
about,
well.
you know, the bloody chicken last season, the goddess, who came out of the blood puddles and she was all like
And
naked
the
and
full
bloody.
frontal male
Yes.
nudity.
Okay, we got
books
two
were
various,
awesome.
different opinions here,
The
but okay.
point though is that you can do good paranormal romance. I mean,
Yes.
Anne Rice has been doing for all practical purposes paranormal romance for decades.
Yeah, but the first book was the only good one.
But you know what? Even her worst book is not as bad as the Twilight books by any stretch of the imagination.
Infinitely. Is that Scythe? What do you have to say about this?
Well,
I see
actually,
you see it.
I've heard rumors that she actually she got the idea out of like some sexual fantasy she's had.
Yes, she went on live TV. This is why I feel bad for her husband, by the way, because he can't have guy parties. He can't have Super Bowl parties because his wife ruined everything.
Mm-hmm.
She went on live TV to say, I came up with this idea because I had a dream about a hot, sparkly boy. A grown woman, cougar, talking about a sparkly boy. That's the beginning of Twilight. And you know her husband cannot have any of the guys come over because his wife destroyed vampires, werewolves, love.
I like monsters that are still like scary, like I'm
Yes.
actually intimidated, something's going to happen. These are not scary, these are not monsters. It's like, oh wow, you know what? I haven't been able to get out in the sun for a while because I'll burn. This is like a ginger's nightmare or something like that, but it has nothing to do with actually sucking. They don't even have to suck blood in it.
No.
Where are the disadvantages? I want to know where any of the disadvantages to being a vampire are
You
in
can't
that
go in the
universe.
sun because you look like a sparkly disco ball douchebag.
I'm sorry.
I do
what
too
was
if I
that-
bathe
what was that
myself in
line he
glitter
did
before I go to a
again when
club.
He showed the skin. She's like, your skin's so beautiful. It's the skin of a murderer. What the hell?
The skin of a murderer can be beautiful too if you tan it properly.
Like, seriously, sparkling? What kind of vampire sparkles?
None.
Twilight vampires. Like, I don't
They're not
understand.
vampires. They're little.
What
I
kind
can't
of
even say it.
woman says, "Hey, sparkly vampires"? And why do people eat it up? That's what I don't understand. How are this
They're
is a
brain dead.
horrible example for little girls to grow up with.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Little
Exactly
girls
horrible
are
because
brain
you know
dead.
everything at 16. You're willing to give up your entire life, no matter what you do to the people you love. So one, you can stay young forever, and two, because you're in love with a boy. You don't really know love till like college, when you actually grow up and get out of the hormones. You know, that's the way I look at it. Before
See,
that, it's all
again,
lust.
with the no disadvantages, why would the whole world not be like, hey, you know what? I want to be a vampire too. I can live in a vaguely overcast climate and stay young forever and pretty much not have to worry about ever dieting because your body just adapts apparently.
Oh, and don't forget they get superpowers.
Oh, and the superpowers. So where's any disadvantage whatsoever to being a vampire? The entire world should be coming up to that clan and saying, hey, by the way, how much do I have to pay you to get you to bite me? Because this is awesome.
But
I won't
they
live
don't do it
forever
because
anyway.
it's such a tormented life.
It's not a tormented
Oh,
life.
heaven
There's
forbid.
nothing tormented
It's a
about it.
torment.
The whole like, oh, we murdered in the past. Well, yeah, if you're 600 years old, you get bored eventually and want to see what it's like to kill a human being.
Exactly. You know, it's just, I just don't understand how this became so big. It is the worst writing. It is the worst movies, the worst actors in those movies. I mean, could they be any less enthusiastic? I mean, yeah, I got paid a bunch of money to be a sparkly douchebag vampire. I'm going to put on a happy face because you know what? I can pay to make myself look different afterwards. You know, you have enough money to get plastic surgery, no one will ever relate you to being Edward Cullen ever again. Do it. That's my suggestion for you.
You're no kidding.
Have you read the books?
No.
I have read individual
Oh.
sections of the books where people are like, here, you've got to read the part, and I'm going to spoil you, kids. You've got to read the part where he had to perform a C-section with his vampire fangs to get her half-vampire baby out. Half-vampire baby? C-section with fangs? No,
See,
just
and
so much no.
The funny part is when that last book came out, all the fans swore to God that she didn't write it. They swore she didn't write it because it was not written, and it wasn't. It did not flow like the first three.
I
don't
wouldn't
even
know. I
care.
don't
hate
read the
whole
books. I never.
universe.
I did. I will admit it. I will take my deduction on man card points for that. I wasted my time, but it was one of those. It was like a train wreck. You
I
had
hit
to
you in the
start.
head with a book for
You
reading
had
those.
to finish, and it was just like, oh no, what did I just do? And the thing is you can actually read like every 15th word and get exactly what's going on. Like you could literally just skim, and you could save yourself like 8 hours of time because nothing happens. She complains and whines about how her life is so pitiful. The whole second book was her saying, I'm going to go be reckless because I want to have memories of my long departed boyfriend who left me. So she does stupid stuff when she has the best friend zone guy right there. And it's just like, it's horrible.
Especially frustrating, again, because this is something that girls are reading. And there's a great meme that's been going around on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot of, role models for girls, where it's got
with memes.
Aaron's son. No, it's a really good
Aaron's
one.
son is
It's
a good
got
role model.
Aaron's son. It's got Susan Ivanova. It's got, I'm trying to remember some of the other ones, but like women in actual military uniforms, as opposed to just being all scantily clad, that are in positions of authority that are kick-ass, that you look up to like, yes, that's who I want my girls to be thinking about.
But
Why
instead-
this instead?
But instead, what do we have as woman role models? The
A
bitch
moron.
that goes after the sparkly little vampire.
And I hate the fact that this is what a generation is growing up with when they're missing out on the original Dracula or
Yes.
Interview with a Vampire or
Or
anything
Blade.
that was actually good and you can read and have
I
a
loved
good time
Underworld.
with.
They didn't have another
So,
Underworld come out that just save
It's
the
just
vampire
one of those
thing.
things.
I blame the sort of, I hate to get political with it, but the Republican war on women, with the whole idea that like, hey, if you're a good woman, if you're doing it right, what you're actually doing is being subservient, not trying to show yourself, not trying to be equal with men. And so you've got this whole heroine that's her role in life, is to show how subservient a woman can be in modern times.
It was just, death is signaling us for something.
I have no idea.
Okay, so,
I don't speak dead.
all right,
I don't speak sign language, dude.
you two, what are your thoughts on Twilight?
I refuse to admit that it exists.
You have to admit it exists because it's everywhere you go.
Unfortunately.
Not for my kids.
So you just
Oh
filter
yeah,
TV.
you're a bunny. You probably have like 20, 40 kids, right? Or they
Shut up, you.
Or they just pop out
You know,
like
you
every.
and Death are out going
every
out together.
2
I don't
years
even
or
know
something,
how
like
you have
20
kids,
kids each year.
honestly.
The dead bunnies.
Ah, that'd be great. Okay, so honestly,
All right, another drink.
you had an idea earlier. What was your?
Okay, Berserker Joe, Death, and I got together, and we were doing, what would you rather do
All right, well, hit us
instead
with
of
one.
watch the 4 Twilight movies? And my favorite has got to be The French Prostitute. Would you rather be or sleep with a dirty French prostitute instead of watching the 4 movies?
I'd be the dirty French prostitute.
Oh, yeah, I'd sleep with a French prostitute over
At least I'm making money.
Twilight any day.
I'd take either, really.
I'd rather, we actually tried to live riff the movies online, and we couldn't get 15 minutes in before we were just exhausted of jokes.
Oh,
And
yeah?
we had to turn it off. I mean, we were set to do it. We had them lined up. We had the live stream going. And it just turned out that we could not do it after about 15, 20 minutes.
The MST3K guys have gone on record saying it's harder than you think to pick the right type of movie to do that with.
It is. It's incredibly hard. And this was way too easy. I'll just tell you that right now. Way too easy to make fun of. So, Bunny, hit us with a this or that. Would we rather do something than watch the Twilight movies?
Come on, just shoot out any idea. Better not be anything.
Please
too
don't let it
great.
involve French hookers. We've already gone that route.
I love French hookers.
The rest of them are kind of dirty.
Why am I not
Oh,
surprised?
come on! Come
You
on,
should've
just
been here
entertain us
earlier.
with
It
the
was
dirtiness.
awesome.
Come on. As long as they ain't
Which
too,
one?
yeah.
See what I have to put up with?
The
Dirty
fir-
mouth
the first one.
staff members.
Horrid.
Oh, we have a
horrid.
caller. Hold on, we have a
A
caller.
caller.
All right.
You might have to turn up the
Hey.
Oh, hello?
Hey,
Hi.
Hey,
All right, so what are your thoughts on Twilight?
nothing good there.
Oh, is that Sidewinder?
Yes, it's me.
Here's a secret fact about Sidewinder we're telling you right now. He's on a mission, and guess where he's at?
where?
In the heart of Twilight territory in Seattle.
Oh,
He is being
God.
stalked by the glittery douchebag vampires. And so his whole trip, I was sending pictures of Edward Cullen by text message with these little messages like, I have a very particular set of skills. I will find you and turn you into a sparkly douchebag vampire like me. And we know weird stuff like that. He's actually right now in the heart of Twilight territory. How is it up there?
Actually, not bad. We've managed to clean out most of the glittery douchebag vampire population out of Wenatchee.
All right.
Very good. Keep up the good work because that's your mission. Find them and
Bring
kill
back
them.
their organs, man. I need some new organs. I swear to God, my liver's going bad.
Talking about organs in those, are their insides glittery too? Like if you're to cut them open,
I would be happy to cut them open and
Or at
find
least
out.
kill us to
I
Billy
think
so I
we
can at
need
least have a
a
normal
scientific
one.
study on this.
I think we do. So, all right. So Sidewinder, weigh in a little bit more on Twilight. Or
Did
hang
break
on.
off?
Weigh in a little bit more on Twilight. What exactly is it, do you think, draws people to it?
A lack of a life?
Yeah, but you can say the same thing about Xbox. I mean, why this?
You know, that's a good point. I mean, I guess it's for the people that don't like to play on the Xbox. It's either Xbox or Twilight, then
Wow, I'd rather
Twilight
be
was
Xbox.
cheaper
This or that?
Yeah.
I'll
To
take
buy an
Xbox
Xbox?
any day.
I'll do 360 all day and night and spend 1 second watching Twilight.
So,
Or
I
even
know
reading
that-
goddamn books. I'll burn them.
I know that Matilda's next to you.
Those should-
What does she have to say about this?
I think that only teenagers are excused for liking this.
I don't even think that's an excuse because do we want them liking that? Because
No.
they grow up to be
No.
adults that like that.
Well, you're young. I mean, I was young at one point. There are things that I liked and that embarrass me now, so I
What?
think that I can give them a free pass.
I bet you she was a Robot Assassin Teeny Bopper fan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She had pictures of just.
I did not like New Kids on the Block.
Whoa, she went New Kids on the Block.
I did not.
Spice Girls.
I did not have a doll.
You know, you can at least hope that maybe they'll graduate to 50 Shades of Grey.
Why would we even want them to do that?
Oh,
That book's not
Lord.
any better.
I do, honestly, and so I wonder, this is one of the few things that we agree on, is that the people that like Twilight probably like 50 Shades of Grey as well.
Which that's another series about being subservient.
Yeah, but at least those people get laid. Unlike the people in Twilight who are just like, I'm just going to dream about it for a while. Someday it'll be wonderful when our Mormon God tells us it's okay.
Oh,
Well, the
they
Twilight
did.
people
Oh,
do
yeah,
get laid
after
one
that.
time before they have to get ripped open by their vampire boyfriend to have their baby.
I want to make sure I know what I'm getting into before commitment of, especially an immortal commitment with something like that. Come on. Any vampire that isn't sleeping with their immortal lover before turning them is doing it wrong.
Well, thank you, Sidewinder and Matilda, for calling in. Get back to work on killing the glittery vampires. We must do it
Bring
before
back
the
some
week's
livers,
out.
for Christ's sakes.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Hey.
All right, so what are your thoughts on Twilight?
Well, I think it sucks real bad. And to be honest, I think I choose 50 Shades of Grey, even though that's terrible also, than Twilight.
So what is it that you dislike so much about Twilight? Can you give us a concrete something other than our just snarling hate that we've been
Please
spewing
go
out?
into detail on why you think it sucks.
Yes, why is it that you'd
Please.
rather do 50 Shades of Grey than Twilight?
Well, for starters, like y'all were saying, those vampires are compared to nothing, just like Blade does. You know, like Blade, that was an awesome movie. And like you said, all those old Draculas or vampires are so much better than this Twilight crap that we have now. And all these new generation kids are going to be like, oh my God, Twilight's so much better than that old Dracula crap. No, it doesn't work that way.
They were actually still monsters.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
They're
You
not
just
monsters.
sum it up.
No. They're not even
Yes.
sexy. That's the thing that frustrates me so much. The whole like, oh, look at them. At least they're supposed to be a sex symbol. No.
Did you see his hair? I mean, it's like a pompadour. Are you kidding me? For real? Thank you, caller. Thanks for
Nope.
watching.
It's like an Elvis Presley hairdo gone horribly wrong.
So,
Yes.
King rolls over in his grave seeing that hairdo.
Anyway, yes.
anyways,
No, the king's
So-
dead.
if you were in a position where you had to choose Team Edward or Team Jacob, who would you pick? Bunny.
Lon Chaney.
No. One or the other. Team Edward or Team Jacob?
Is killing yourself an
No.
option?
These are your only two options. Who would you pick?
Team Jacob. I like body hair.
I like girls.
I'll join you too on that. I'll
Okay.
join you too.
No. You have a choice. Edward or Jacob? Coach
Neither.
Rachel says Jacob. You have to pick one.
It's a brief show. Come on.
Come on.
No,
You have to pick one. Or I will pick for you.
please.
He will.
Anna was on Team Edward. Scythe. Edward or Jacob?
Jacob, at least they turned the werewolves, and the werewolves are not as gay.
I say Team Jacob as well because she didn't actually ruin werewolves as much, except for the fact that they tie their clothes on their pants before they change. So you got a bunch of werewolves running around with like denim knots on their legs.
That's kind of pathetic.
Death. Death says Team Jacob. Berserker Joe. Team Jacob. See, everyone, at least the werewolves were tolerable.
Yeah. Well, mostly
Vampires,
because
I
we
just
didn't
wanna-
see that much of the werewolves. The less you see of them, the less horrified you have to be by the way they're depicted.
Do you want commentary in the background for saying who the teams?
Yes, ask Mars who he wants. No, just ask Mars thing. You can tell us. We're going to find out what our other production crew likes. Mars,
I still go Lon Chaney.
what does Mars say?
What do you mean if I
Clyde, Edward,
Mars and Clyde are Team Edward.
really?
Pyro, is
Freaks.
Mars.
Team Jacob.
There you go.
See, I don't understand what
Figures
anyone would
Mars would like
actually
it. He's a
side with
sparkly little vampire too.
that. So, and they're spinning off the werewolves into their own thing now.
And that's the time where you're going to get them ruined for you.
Yeah! Maybe we'll actually see them. Well, you'll see them strip down and tie their clothes to their ankles, because I never quite understood that, because they always have their clothes, and they explained it in the book. They tie them on their ankles before they change.
Why?
Wow, this look cool. We got our little clothes on our backpack on our ankle here, like a little ankle monitor for werewolves,
It
better than the ones in True
catch-
Blood.
It catches the sweat when we exercise.
True.
I like the ones in True Blood.
Because the ones in True Blood are like, no one in Bon Temps is allowed to have underpants. They just start to unbutton the top and then they immediately change as soon as you see that top line of pubic hair. So there's just clothes littering all of Bon Temps, Louisiana.
And they don't care.
Everywhere
They just
we
run
go.
around and walk up naked and just.
They'll just put on whatever pants they find when
Exactly.
they wake up. Like, hey,
these my
I hope
pants
we're all
or
the same
yours?
size. So yeah, that's why everybody has to be in such good shape. Interchangeable pants, and that's why they can't wear underpants. Because the interchangeable underpants kind of gross,
What are you talking about?
I do not want to wear your underpants.
I swear to
don't wear
God, if they
underpants.
try to
You
make a
wanna
love
see?
story with zombies or whatever, I'm gonna puke.
I don't think you can ruin zombies. Like, a zombie love story would be kind of interesting to watch.
I'm
the zombie
hoping we will not
Well,
get a
I think
zombie
A
love
Nightmare
story.
Before Christmas would have been,
Okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how can you not love Nightmare Before Christmas? But
Some
an
people
actual-
don't.
Well, they're wrong.
They're very
They're simply
wrong.
wrong and must die.
There is?
Yes.
What?
Not porn. We're talking an actual zombie
Yeah,
love
Def,
story.
we're not talking about porn over here, dude.
If you Google anything, you'll find porn about it. We found Star Wars porn for hut porn. We were watching Star Wars and
You're
we
looking
just
at me
typed
as though
up-
you're surprised by this. There's
Also,
some,
go,
there's some surprisingly decent
uh,
Polish stuff.
swag Princess
Oh, and my
Leia.
favorite is Let's Ruin My Little Pony with Clop Clop. Are you for real?
I have missed out on this and will continue to not Google it.
The role
So-
of the internet, there's always a porn of whatever you used to love.
That's why you stay careful with what you Google.
Exactly.
I don't Google
These
those.
are
People
skills that
send
we
those
need to
me.
teach our children. In addition to don't read anything by Stephanie Myers, we should also be teaching them
Oh my
here are
God.
the words not to Google if you don't want to be scarred as an adult.
Did you read The Host, her second book about the alien? It's the exact same thing, except in, like alien parasites inside, learning about love through this woman.
Oh my
What?
goodness, parasites to
What's
teach
this
me
woman's
about
obsession
love.
over love?
I don't know.
Hey, still continue on with that zombie love.
Zombie love.
It's warm bodies.
Warm Bodies. There's actually a movie called Warm Bodies about. You know what? I think I saw that somewhere.
February 1st, 2013 is when it comes out.
2013. Oh, Mars is the one that showed me that.
I'm disturbed.
I wouldn't be disturbed because it's basically a movie about necrophilia, and who doesn't like to watch a little bit of necrophilia in the morning?
Mars is not the one who showed you, apparently.
Who was it? What was the one Mars showed me? Okay, you can tell me later. Well, he's not on the show. He's in there running cameras. So,
Yep.
whether you love it or hate it, Twilight's here and it's here to stay, and it seems like nobody with a brain likes it.
I'm going to disagree with you on the here to stay thing. I think it's a flash in the pan. I think this is my good news portion of this, that Harry Potter is going to still be around in another decade. People that grew up reading it are going to read it to their kids. Their kids are going to keep loving it the same way that like J.R.R. Tolkien.
I hated Harry Potter.
Well, you can go rot somewhere.
I'm already
He is Ronnie. What are you talking about?
But by
for?
the same
'Cause
token,
he was looking for something
by
to
the
throw at
same
you.
token, you're not going to see that kind of staying power, I don't think, with the Twilight series. I think that's going to be one of those, like, one generation of teenagers got it, and then there's going to be, please God, some type of pendulum swing to something completely different. Maybe the next Star Wars princess coming out next year will capture the little girls' imaginations instead.
Here's hoping she's awesome.
As long as
So,
Stephanie girl don't freaking
That
drink
is
out
our
there.
Twilight Bash. We do have a poll on our Facebook page. Go take it. Vote for Team Edward or T. Jacob. We want to know what people think because if you
At
have to
least
choose.
vote for Jacob. If you vote for Edward, I will hunt
People,
you.
well, some people
I
like Edward.
will
Maybe they like
hunt
craft
you.
projects full of glitter. We don't really know.
Maybe they're club kids.
I will tell you though, I'm really thinking about starting a whole group called the CVR, the Center for Vampire Rebadassification. I did this logo for a long time ago, and I wrote this infomercial for it that I think I really want to do because I really think we need to bring vampires back to the badassness of it.
Yes.
I agree. I'm with you 100%.
Underworld.
I want to see vampires actually kill people. And not suffer about it, not be like, oh, I'm so
I had to
sorry that I
eat
have
you."
to eat you. No, I want to be like, hey, bitch, ah! And just dead, and happy and enjoying it.
I
Dead.
like her.
Look
So,
Look here, no touching the neck. Zombie don't like that.
oh, his head is.
Oh, it's
in
not
two
that well
pieces.
attached.
Yeah.
No, it's well attached. I just don't want to see how unattached it really is.
Zombie love story looks more entertaining than Twilight.
Zombie loves more to change Twilight. So, that is Twilight Bash. Do weigh in on the website. Have some